Greetings. I am Pastor Harris, and welcome to this edition of Understanding with Pastor Harris. In our last edition, we talked about having a relationship with God and how to build up a relationship with God, and especially how to communicate with Him. We talked about 4 areas of communicating with God, and today I want to focus in on one of them, talking with God. See, when I was a small child growing up in the church, the old people talked to God, and the young people, the children, we said the Lord's Prayer. There's a difference in the two, being able just to talk to God. Well, when I got older, I found out I didn't know how to talk to God. And by that time, I was reluctant to try to talk to Him because I hadn't been as good as I knew I should have been. And I was actually afraid to try to talk to God. But you see, that's the wrong thing, and that's what I've been trying to tell us each and every week, that God loves us so much, and even though He doesn't love what we're doing, He loves us, and He wants to communicate with us. He wants us to talk to Him. So how do we talk to God? Well, it's very simple and very easy. We talk to Him like a friend, like a brother, like a confidant. That means someone we can trust. See, you can tell God anything, and He will never tell anybody else. He can truly keep your secrets. I can talk to Him as a loving Father, and I can talk to Him just like He's right there with me right now. But the main thing is, God just wants us to keep in touch with Him. He wants us to talk to Him. And by that, we learn how to listen to Him because God will talk to you. The great thing is God gives us the access or the opportunity to talk to Him anytime, any place, and anywhere. We don't just have to talk to God when we're in trouble. We can talk to God in the good times. I know my neighbors sometimes when they're looking out the windows, they say it must be something strange about him. He's always waving his hand up in the air and smiling. That's because God has done something good for me, or I realize how good He is to me, as unworthy as I am, and I just raise my hand. Sometimes I'm in the car riding down the road, and I just wave my hand in the air saying, "Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus, Lord. You are so good to me." That's prayer. That's part of a conversation with God, and we can do that anytime. For you see, as often as we do it, and we talked about that last week too, repetition, the more we do something, the better we get at it, and the more comfortable we can be. And when we do that, talk to God often, we build up confidence in Him. Let's listen to what the Bible says in the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 14. It says, "And this is the confidence that we have in Him, God, that if we ask for anything according to His will," and it should be according to the will of God, because God is wiser than we are, and He knows what we need, when we need it, how much we need, and where. So if we ask anything according to the will of God, the Bible says He hears us. And we get this confidence from constantly talking to God, with Him listening to us. And we do it over and over and over again. You see, some of us pray at bedtime before we go to bed at night. That's great. Some of us pray in the morning when we get up. That's great. Sometimes some of us, we both only pray when we eat. We say what we call a blessing. But we can talk to God all the time, anytime, anywhere, even in the car. You see, when we talk to God, it doesn't have to be a very formal conversation. We don't always have to close our eyes and bow our heads and clasp our hands together. We can talk to God at any time. We can stand, we can sit, we can kneel, we can bow, or we can be prostrate. That means lying flat on our faces and our bodies with our arms extended. God really doesn't care. He just wants to listen to us, and he wants us to build a relationship with him. The more we talk to God, the better your relationship with him it will be. And the more you will learn to trust in him, just as I do. I get problems all the time, and I worry what I can do to solve my problems. But when I think about it and I'm through trying to figure out what I need to do, then I just pray to God. And so say, Lord, lead me, guide me, or take care of this problem for me. And I know him by now to know that he will solve that situation for me. That's the confidence I have in my relationship with God. We call it prayer, but it's just a conversation that we have with God, and he loves to hear from you. This is relationship building we have with God. You see, we can even pray right now. I pray, loving Lord Jesus, thank you so much for this opportunity to be with my friends and listeners on this program. And I ask you to bless us with wisdom so that all the things you're teaching us, Lord, we will learn and use them to better our lives. Bless each and every one of us, Lord, no matter who we are. In Jesus' name, amen. We pray to God. It's just that simple. He's heard us, and he will answer our prayers. God loves you so much. I can't tell you that more enough times. And anybody who loves you that much wants to hear from you often. Pray to God. Talk to him, and do it often. Do it over and over and over every day. He doesn't get tired. There's no limit on how many times we can pray to God. Evil would have you think that you're not worthy to talk to God and that you ought to be afraid to talk to God. But that's just what evil wants you to believe, because evil knows when you don't talk to God, you don't have the relationship that you need with him, and you don't have the strength to overcome all of the challenges we get in our lives. God loves you so much, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. Talk to him. Start today. Do it often, every day. He loves you, he hears you, and he will answer your prayers. God bless you. See you the next time on Understanding with Pastor Harris.